Good evening. For those that don't know you, I'm Graham, and I'm one of the leaders here at Grand Union Vineyard, and it is great to see so many people here to celebrate Christmas with us. I never thought I'd be competing with a world sporting event, so thank you so much for coming to listen to me instead of watching some other thing on TV. So today's talk is entitled Hope, and I just want to look at what hope is, and hopefully there's a slide. I'm hopeful that slide is going to come up behind me. But when I looked up hope, it was a feeling of expectation and a desire for a particular thing to happen. With Christmas now less than a week away, I wonder what you're hoping for this Christmas. So is anyone able to shout out what they're hoping for this Christmas? TV. Seeing family, happiness, books, diamonds. Nick, we'll pray for you later. Peace. Yes, I had a list of things. Particular new present, good food, time with family and friends, maybe even a mild winter. Maybe England will win the World Cup one day. But often these things that we hope for, they're just the latest thing, or they're just a transient thing. We get them, and then we just hope for the next thing. So we might get the latest iPhone, but then we're just hoping for the next one. And so this Christmas, I just want to talk about an everlasting hope. A hope that will keep on going, a hope that is everlasting. So I just want to turn to Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. For those that don't know, the book is called Isaiah. Then we just have a chapter and verse just to help us navigate our way through the Bible to find a particular passage. Isaiah was a prophet, and a prophet was someone who God speaks to and is able to relay the message to others. Isaiah is famous for predicting that Jesus would come, and here in chapter 9, verse 6, we read the following. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. So all those years before it actually happened, Isaiah predicted the birth of Jesus. We know that through the gospel messages, this prediction came true. And it is really significant for many reasons. But this evening, I just want to focus on two. The first is that God came to earth. God stepped down from his throne and came to earth as a baby to be human. God coming to earth is known as the incarnation. This is a wondrous act that resulted in God being God, but also being fully human. Is it not an amazing, earth-shattering miracle that the God of the universe, the God that flung stars into sky, came down to earth to be a human being? There are probably so many more things that God could have done, many plans he could have made to save us, but he chose to become like you and me. This is the God of the universe fitting into a finite being. Does that not just blow your mind? Therefore, God knows what it's like to live here on earth, what it's like to be human, and this enabled him to show us how to live through his example and his teachings. He walked on this earth. He experienced our pain, our suffering, and our joy firsthand. Therefore, when we hear God's voice, like Isaiah all those years ago, we know we can trust what we hear. He's not going to let us down. He cares for each one of us, and he's interested in you and me and our lives and the issue we face. This, therefore, hopefully brings hope. We often find people or things let us down, but here we have someone who has fulfilled promises, has spoken truth, and continues to do that today in our context, in our community and in our city. We may at times not hear God correctly or misunderstand. However, if God speaks, we know he will keep his promises. So my next point is God the disruptor. Secondly, the way in which God stepped down from his throne is the most unconventional story for a king. He was born to Mary and Joseph, who had no status in society. He was born in a manger and among animals. Can you imagine Prince George, Princess Charlotte, or Prince Louis being born in those types of circumstances? The press would have a field day, and there would be a public outcry. Yet here we have Jesus, who is far more important, being born in such a strange and lowly circumstances. He never wore a crown or royal robes. He never lived in a palace or a castle. This was someone who was revolutionary, someone who was so forward-thinking, someone who wanted to relate to the everyday person, the fisherman, the tax collector, those who were normal working people. This was a God that came for everyone. No matter your background, race, religion, or wealth, he came for you and me. God has shown us if there is a way of doing things differently. Jesus did it. From teachings to miracles, he showed us how to live without command or power, rank or status. He wanted to get alongside us, empower us, and heal us. And as we look at the world over the last 4 years, many of the building blocks we have become used to have been shattered. All the things we've built our lives around have crumbled. And here was a king, a mighty God, a wonderful counselor, a prince of peace, not looking for status, wealth, authority, but a king who wanted to be among the people, not to build power, but a king who wanted to bring freedom, peace, and hope. This gives us a great hope in that God has already dismantled the things of this world. The things that we build our worldly lives around do not matter to God. He has not invested in any of it, and therefore has gone before us. So, in summary, there is a song that was released in 2008 called How Many Kings? And the chorus goes like this. How many kings have stepped down from their thrones? How many lords have abandoned their homes? How many greats have become the least for me? And how many gods have poured out their hearts to romance a world that is torn all apart? How many fathers gave up their sons for me? This is a lovely summary. God gave so much for you and me, for this world. God coming to earth, being a revolutionary, is the greatest hope we can have this Christmas. In doing this, he has given us hope, and celebrating the birth of Jesus is a reminder of this. He tore up the rule book. He did things differently. And the exciting thing is that God is still here this Christmas. He's here now through his Holy Spirit. He is still speaking to us. When he does, we can confidently look forward. The story has not yet ended. We are part of God's plan, and he will speak to us and use us in many ways. You may want to be finding out a bit more about this. This may be the first time that you've heard some of the things I've had to say today. So in January, we're doing an Alpha course, and it starts on Thursday, the 19th of January at 7:30 here. You'll get a free meal, and you can have any question about faith or life answered. So I would encourage you to come to that. If you already know Jesus for yourself, maybe you know a neighbor, know someone else who would benefit from coming to that Alpha. The other thing is that we've got some leaflets at the back of church called Why Christmas? So again, if you're wondering what this Christmas is all about, what the real meaning of Christmas is, then can I encourage you to take that as well.